Tempe. It is a flat field, and it is possible that if the rain continues, that there will be some water collect in certain spots of the field. This one a big one in the Pac-10. Two quality football teams. Arizona State will have the ball. The Bruins wanted Arizona State, I think, to have the ball first. You kind of talk about a two-edged sword here. One, UCLA wants Walker to try to handle the ball because they know he's got to have some nerves, even though he is a junior. Arizona State, on the other hand, gets an early check of themselves to see how well they handle it. The kicker slips, rolls the ball downfield, finally picked up by a lineman at the 25. Randall McDaniel, the starting offensive guard, winds up returning the kickoff. They open up with Knudsen, Underwood, McDaniel, Sperling, Kalis, and Kirby up front. It's a very good offensive front. John Walker, the quarterback. Williams and Harris, big last week. Shannon Williams and Darrell Harris both ran for well over 100 yards. And Tony Johnson is the wide receiver with Aaron Cox, the big play man, up at split end. So here comes John Walker. 2 operations on his right arm. He's got a chance to make a career this afternoon against 7th-ranked UCLA. Walker gives it to Harris. Harris over the right guard, and they start out just about where we thought they would, running between the tackles. Waller, Toomey, Glasser up front. 255, 235, and 265. The backers are not very big, but they are very, very active and very good. They can really run to the ball. And Johnson and Norton inside fill well. It's an outstanding defensive secondary as well for UCLA. And it is second down. Up 6 for Arizona State. The football at the 38-yard line, coming outside with it. Pursuit there, slowed down. Getting his hands on him was number 27, Alan Dial, the strong safety, who was up on the line of scrimmage, and then Chance Johnson put him on the ground.
Keith, I'm a little surprised that Arizona State is trying to run sideways, east and west. No, it's only the second play of the game, but it's an early play, an indication they think they can run wide. We were led to believe by John Cooper yesterday that they were going to run north and south right at him, and that way it eliminates that speed and that pursuit, the quickness of UCLA. I doubt if you'll see many wide plays by ASU today.
He lost 2 yards on that play. As I said, the Bruins run to the ball so well with those outside people. John Walker rolls and throws, and he misses. Tony Johnson, who had broken to the sidelines, and so Arizona State now will have to punt the ball away, and the wind is going to be a problem today for kicking and perhaps even for the passing.
It's going to be very tough for the quarterbacks, Keith. If you just have one condition, either wind or rain, a wet ball, you can usually handle it. But when you get both, it's very difficult to throw the football accurately.
Darrell Henley, dangerous back there under the punt. The kick is away by Mike Shue. Pretty good kick. And slipping and going down back on the 13-yard line is Henley. He tried to plant, couldn't get his feet under him, and put his knee down. So it winds up a 51-yard punt and no return. Pickard, Richards, Kidder, Cornish, Meyer, Warnick up front for UCLA. Richards, the big man, at about 312. The quarterback, Troy Aikman, who came over from Oklahoma. Belfar, and of course Gaston Green, the tailback, with Paco Craig and Willie Anderson, the wide people. The Bruins wearing the white. The ball is marked just short of the 14-yard line for their first possession. And they give it to Green, and Green maybe to the line of scrimmage. May have even lost some as Arizona State loaded the gun early, and Dillard, number 21, along with Sean Patterson. Now they've got to double team Sean Patterson. There's no question about it. I don't think he was touching the ground yesterday when I saw him. He's 6'5", 270, and he's looking to broaden his fame this afternoon.
And they're going to do it several different ways, double him with 2 tight ends, sometimes with 2 tackles on the same side of the ball.
The Bruins go to a single back, give it to Gaston Green, sweep to the right side. They've got him pinned in pretty well as he comes up to the 16-yard line, picking up 2.5 on that carry. Defensively for Arizona State, 3 down are Armstrong, Sapolu, and Patterson. But those backers come right up on that line of scrimmage. Dillard, Clark, Harvey, and Zumwalt. Then you have Allen, Malstead, LeDuc, and Crawford. LeDuc and Crawford being the true freshmen in the defensive secondary, with Anthony Parker and Jeff Joseph out for the season with leg injuries. It is 3rd down and 8. And the first pass from Troy Aikman. The pass is caught. And maybe the line of scrimmage, or rather maybe the 24-yard line, which would be just enough to give them the first down and put your line of scrimmage just short of the 25. It's close. And I think probably they'll want to have the chains come out and look at this one. Mike Farr, who is the younger brother of Mel Farr Jr., and of course both of them the sons of the great running back at UCLA and the Detroit Lions, Mel Farr. The officials today are Gordon Reese, James Cohen, Charles Stewart, Charles McFerrin, Colin McDermott, David Becker, Jim Fogeltantz, and Mac Gilchrist. Referee, umpire, head linesman, line judge, field judge, side judge, back judge, in that order. Looks like a first down. Barr turned it back inside, looking for some blocking help. Didn't get much, but he had enough muscle himself to pick up the first down. And so the Bruins now have a little bit of working room. And you see the value of an Aikman. He's very, very accurate. Only 1 interception this year.
And Keith, he's completing 69% of his passes. This is his first year playing for UCLA after coming over from Oklahoma and sitting out a year.
Out of the eye, Green with the football, and they are really looking for him. A year ago, Gaston Green didn't amount to anything in the ball game, coming off injury. And UCLA's ground game last year at Pasadena, when Arizona State beat him 16-9, produced only 74 yards.
Take a look at this right here. The defensive backs for the Sun Devils. On the left, the first game, you see from the day to the first game, only Allen, the 3 in white, are true freshmen. 3 of the top 5 defensive backs today for ASU are freshmen.
Green wide, coming back the other way now. Trapped behind the line of scrimmage. Great penetration that time by the Arizona State defensive front. And Terry Donahue very openly last night.
For ASU's defense, if they can stop Green, they can force Aikman to put the ball up. It's kind of unusual because, as we just mentioned, 3 of the 5 defensive backs in that backfield are true freshmen.
Down to the shotgun they go on 3rd down and about 15. Aikman, very good protection, goes down the middle. It hits far. It's intercepted. And out of bounds at the 23-yard line of UCLA. Interception coming off the ricochet. Malstead, I think, was the man that hauled it down. Yes, it was. Jeff Malstead, who's playing with a stress fracture.
Here's Mike Farr right here. He's going to go straight down the field. Malstead is just going to back up and see the ball all the way and make the interception. Shotgun, second pass of the day. Now watch Farr. Malstead sees it all the way. The ball is there but tipped, and Malstead, with great vision, takes it for the interception. A big play for this ASU defense. Ball should have been caught.
Yeah, just bounced off his shoulder pad.
That really gets the crowd into this ball game.
All right, Walker now sets up with an opportunity from the UCLA. Call it the 22-yard line. Gives it to Harris. And Harris hit behind the line of scrimmage. Keeps his balance for 1 yard to about the 21. Ken Norton and Mike Lodish on the tackle for the Bruins. Ken Norton Jr. saw his dad last night. He's progressing quite well from that dreadful accident he had a year ago. Automobile accident.
Still looks in great shape. His biceps were as big as my legs. Boy, I want to tell you.
2nd down and 9. Arizona State just short of the UCLA 21 here in the first quarter. 2nd interception of the season for Troy Aikman. Not his fault. The pass was on the money. Channing Williams. And Williams to about the 20. So they'll be looking at 3rd and 8 as Brad Bryson and Melvin Jackson are there for the tackle. Melvin Jackson came out from Suffolk, Virginia. Going to graduate right on schedule at UCLA.
Jim Coletto, the offensive coordinator for Arizona State, said this is a situation he does not want to get into. 3rd and long. This is where UCLA's defense is so dominant.
They've got 6 people up on the front now. Now sends 7. Walker's pressure, pass, underthrown. and incomplete, intended for Chris Garrett. So Walker has thrown that pass twice now, and both times has led the man too much.
He had the exact situation that he wanted. He just didn't get the ball there, and I think it's a combination of nerves for Walker. As we mentioned, his first start in over 3 years, and the combination of the wet ball and the wind.
37-yard field goal try coming now from Alan Zendejas. His longest to this point in his career, 36 yards. Snap and hold good. The kick is up. And the kick is good. So from 37 yards, Alan Zendejas, yes, a member of the same family, brothers and cousins who have all been great kickers, gives Arizona State the early lead. Kick hangs up there pretty well. It is taken by Brian Brown, the backup tailback, and he breaks it big. He's a tough one. 185-pound sophomore comes all the way back to the 45-yard line. So special teams now produces a big play for UCLA.
Brown's going to take the ball and just going to head right up the middle. There was a huge hole. In fact, he had 3 or 4 blockers in front of him, the wedge, and they had no one to block. Zendejas slows him up for a second until he gets some help from his friends.
Well, the Bruins now, who had the original possession inside the 15, will start now at their own 45. And James Primus is in the backfield at fullback with Gaston Green. Green with the ball. Loses his footing and will pick up a yard or so. Pat Taylor was right there. Pat, the senior, out of Great Falls, Montana. Pat Taylor and Trace Armstrong had big games last week for Arizona State. They had a problem up at Corvallis against Oregon State. That's when Walker got into the game and led them for the winning drive in the second half.
And Taylor is playing with a painful groin injury, but he had an ankle injury before our first game and played the entire game. It's not surprising to see him in there.
Torn bicep, he's all kinds of trouble. Second down and 9. Aikman back to throw it, shoots it over the middle. This one is caught. Caught by Mike Farr, the old confidence builder. They went right back in the middle with him. Farr is a split end that will go down the middle and take the punishment, and he made a fine catch there.
Up and run, as you see, he releases to the inside. He's much flare control as anything else. Aikman will look downfield and saw nothing open, so he came back to Farr, and he made the catch this time.
You got 2 tight ends in the lineup now for UCLA on 3rd down and 2. And a timeout called by Troy Aikman. Aikman didn't like the play he had in hand. He doesn't want to blow this opportunity to keep on moving the ball, so he took the time. Bruins have sorted out now, shuffled their cards, picked the play they want on 3rd down and 2 to keep moving the ball. They are on the Arizona State side of the field for the first time at the Sun Devil 47-yard line. That is Paco Craig in motion. Aikman rolls it out. Gets his pass off, and it is thrown behind the intended receiver, Corbin Anthony, and it brings up 4th and 2. So there, the wet football may have entered the picture.
The wet ball is going to be a problem all day. Also, Keith, the first play of that drive, Gaston Green had a hole but cut back and slipped. The field being wet is going to cut down on a lot of these quick cuts by the backs also, as the ball just slips out of his hand and is behind Paco Craig.
Harold Barkate kicking for UCLA, averaging just under 41 yards per. Usually gets it high. Deep man is David Winsley for Arizona State. No, it is Nathan LeDuc, the question. And the kick gets up in the wind swirling around in this big bowl and goes on into the end zone. It'll go as a 42-yard punt. Arizona State will possess the ball first down at their 20 in the mid-70s on hand for the ball game. I see some seats empty, though. We have some no-shows. First down, Arizona State leading 3-0 over the Bruins at their own 20. John Walker, the quarterback, pitches it to Harris. Harris works his way, fumbles the football. UCLA plus 14 in takeaways. Comes up with it. I think. Looked like a white shirt, had the last grasp on it.
I think Kalis ended up with it,
But
Keith.
Kalis, did he steal it away? Todd Kalis was in the melee. UCLA, 3 of them had their hands on it, but Kalis, 275-pounder, outfought him for it.
Arizona State trying to go wide, starting to go wide, then cut back inside. The ball is out, no question about the fumble. Hits McDaniel in the chest, but he doesn't see it. Now they got a chance. Lake 31 can't hold on to it. It ends up with Arizona State.
And picked up 3 yards on it, too, just about. So it is 2nd down and 7, and Walker back to throw it. Got a man down the middle, goes instead to the sideline route for Aaron Cox. He had his tight end available up around the 32-yard line. Looked past him, and Melvin Jackson, then covering to the outside, slapped it away. Jackson, number 59, right there. Mike Adamley, what's the weather like down on that field? It's windy up here.
Well, the wind hasn't really been much of a factor, Keith, down here. They're swirling up top, but not down here. It didn't bother the Zendejas field goal, obviously. The turf is the real situation right now. John Cooper said yesterday he'd like a slick turf, and it certainly has slowed down UCLA's running attack.
On 3rd down and 7, Walker rolls out, gets his pass away, and it is incomplete. The pass intended for Tony Johnson, and Walker couldn't get the ball to him because mainly Carnell Lake was about to ride him down.
The rollout, they're flooding the right side of the field. Walker is now 0 for 4 as you see him having to throw over the linebacker who came underneath. Problem there is he should have thrown the ball a little sooner.
The punt is away by Mike Shue and accepted by Darrell Henley this time, and Henley has a little room to run. And again, UCLA in its 3rd possession of the ball game is going to have very good field position out of it at the 39. Coming up Monday night on ABC's NFL in particular, so it'll be a good one at 9 Eastern Time on ABC. This is James Primus, the senior out of National City, California, carrying the ball for UCLA, and he moves it out near the 44-yard line. 5 minutes and 55 seconds to play in the first quarter. UCLA now totals 19 yards on offense so far in this ball game, and they've been able to control Gaston Green, that is, they being the Sun Devils, and the playing conditions so far. 2nd down, about 5. Green's got it. Bounces outside. That's a heck of a play over there. The ball rolling around loose, so they're going to call him down, yes. Call him down at the 41. But number 29, Nathan LeDuc, the strong safety, was buried under a block, and he still reached through and got a piece of Gaston Green.
LeDuc is one of those true freshmen in the backfield, Keith. He's from the Phoenix area. He was a high school All-American quarterback just 7 or 8 months ago. He was in high school. He was an All-State wrestling champion 2 times and a top baseball prospect, and now here he is starting in the defensive backfield.
So now it is 3rd and long, 3rd and 8. And Troy Aikman out of a shotgun throws complete to Willie Anderson. And Flipper makes the catch and picks up a 1st down for the Bruins at the Arizona State 43. You don't see any nervous feet with an accomplished quarterback as you see Aikman sit right in there and take his time and drill his man.
I think the thing about Aikman so far this year is the consistency with which he has played and the confidence. There was nothing big or foreign about this play. The inside man went out, and Anderson hooked to the inside. Nice completion.
Brown is in. Green is out. Change for the Bruins. Aikman rolls, buys time, throws deep. Incomplete. Pass intended for Paco Craig, number 26, the senior from Riverside. He had double coverage and a half step on the defender.
It was an incompletion, but it will do good because it will strengthen the offensive passing of UCLA and Aikman, and also will tell some of those freshmen in that secondary for ASU, hey, you better watch the deep pass. We can go deep, and what it will do is stretch that secondary so some of the shorter hooks and outs and square ends will be open a little bit later.
2nd down and 10 from ASU's 43. And the ball to Brian Brown. And Brown down near the 41. Pickup of a couple of yards. And so the Bruins will look at 3rd and long. Trace Armstrong, that tackle, at 4:15 to go in the first quarter. The rain is eased up. Rained hard about an hour ago. But it's still a very gray day, and it still looks like the Superstition Mountains in the main and the background are wrapped in rain. 3rd and 8. Aikman gets his pass off. That one is almost picked off by Nathan LeDuc. He tried to loop it over LeDuc into Anderson, and he's lucky to get the ball back. Now Another rain shower comes hurtling down from the sky.
And blowing in the booth as LeDuc, who was an all-state quarterback, along with being a wrestler and all the other things, also as the backup punter, the backup punt snapper, and the punt returner, as you see him lined up right now.
Number 46.
Arcade in for the punt.
For UCLA.
Gets it up into the air, and it should go into the end zone. It may not. Bruins back there can't get it. It was a tail dragger, took the kick, and kicked on into the end zone. So once again, Arizona State will come back to their 20 and have it first down, leading 3-0. Didn't say we can't. Horn right into our lap. Arizona State's ball, first down at the 20. Walker turns, gives to Harris. Daryl Harris over the left side up to the 24. Pick up the 4 yards. Sun Devils lead the Bruins 3-0 on a 37-yard field goal.
Well, if it's going to help anybody, it's going to help the running of ASU. Randall McDaniel, the All-American, is going to pull and come around as Harris will get 4 or 5 yards in the seam from the end zone. A double team to the left. McDaniel blocks out on the outside man, and Kenny Norton steps up and misses the tackle. What they want to do is run straight at him inside the tackle.
Second down, 6. This is Channing Williams, and Williams will move it to the 27, where Doug Klein makes the tackle for the Bruins. So it'll be third down and about 3 for Arizona State. And we'll pause 5 seconds now for our stations to tell you who they are. Play comes in from the sidelines as Tony Johnson brings it in for Arizona State. Walker has yet to hook up on a pass. He's had some men available, but has not been able to get the ball to him. They may choose to throw here on 3rd and 3. Gets it away, he's got a man, and it is incomplete, intended for Channing Williams. Williams was certainly available to him. He had at least 2 steps on the Bruin defender, and Walker didn't hit him. But remember, this is the first start he has made since he was a freshman. He started 4 times in his freshman year when Jess Van Raaphorst was hurt.
And he's in there because he's an emotional leader. He is a smart quarterback, a field general who can put him in the right place.
Mike Shue hangs it high, 51 and 53 on the first 2, and this is just as good, forcing a fair catch call by Darrell Henley back inside the 25. So he's kicked 3 times, 51, 53, and 50. The New York City Marathon live, except on the West Coast tomorrow, starting at 10:30 Eastern Time here on ABC. The 2 defending champions, the last 2 winners from Italy, both in the race, but there are 25 entries in the marathon, men who have run under 2:12. It's anybody's ball game, I think. And then Cart winds up the season. The Indy Challenge from Miami, tomorrow at 4 Eastern Time here on ABC. James Primus and Brian Brown. Gaston Green went out in the last series. We haven't seen him. This is Brown, and Brown taking a little bit of a deep swing to get his momentum and speed under him. Will pick up 2 yards maybe on the play as Stacy Harvey racked him up. Stacy Harvey is from Pasadena, California, which is where the Bruins play their home game at the Rose Bowl. Gaston Green, when he went out of the ball game in the last series, had carried 6 times and was -5. Back to Brown. Brown breaks it big. He's a tough one. He's got a big, bright future at UCLA, and he blows through there for a first down for the Bruins. Brought down by Eric Crawford and Jeff Malstead.
An offensive line doing a nice job opening up a hole to the right side. The entire second unit is in there now. The entire second unit offensive line and running backs in there getting a job done.
First down as Aikman throws it on first. Has a lot of time. Pass is drilled to the receiver right on the numbers, caught by Willie Anderson. And it looks like it might be a big day for Willie. He caught it right in front of Eric Allen.
Play action fake. He looks to the left side. Nothing is there. He comes back to Anderson. Nicely done by Aikman. I'm impressed the way he's throwing the ball here so far.
You give him that much time all day, Bob, and he'll beat your brains out. It's on the Arizona State 45. First down, Bruins. And this is Brown. And backed up at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a yard advance on the momentum. Mike Adamle, what's the story on Gaston Green?
Well, Keith, on about the second series of the game, Gaston Green sustained a pinched nerve in his neck. Right now, they are working on it furiously on the UCLA Bruin bench. What they're worried about right now is they don't think he's strong enough at this point to hang on to the football. The trainers are working, massaging the arm and the neck area, hoping to get it back. But right now, we don't know if Gaston can make it back in the first half. We'll have to wait and see.
Second down and 9. UCLA, Arizona State 44. AIKMAN with Green out has got to put it up some more, and he's lucky to get this one back. He's been intercepted on a ricochet early on in his first possession. He has thrown 2 balls today that were in the hands of Arizona State people, and they didn't hold it. That pass intended for Paco Craig, but if it was to be caught, it would have been caught by Eric Allen.
And he was picking on Eric Allen, as you see John Cooper saying that that's my only good defensive back that I have. Allen has picked off 6 passes this year, 4 in the last 2 games, and he returned 1 of them for a touchdown. The freshman's on the other side.
Back goes AIKMAN to throw again on 3rd down and long, and he's got a man in the middle. Nice curl play by Mike Farr. And so Mike Farr comes out early in this ball game and becomes a prime target as well as we wind down to the end of the first quarter of play. So after 15 minutes in the rain in Tempe, Arizona, now on the bench. And UCLA moving the ball with that second unit. It's 4th down as we go to the second quarter of play. 4th and a yard. Give it to Brian Brown, and Brian is going to have the first down. His momentum carries him to the top of the stack. And that's where they made the mark unless the ball came out. Stacey Harvey came blowing in and just belted it.
Both inside linebackers, Harvey and Clark, are from the L.A. area. You already mentioned that you see Clark and Harvey meeting him right there. Harvey from Pasadena, Clark from the L.A. area. They expected him to run right behind Richards. I don't think the ball came out, but they were just exuberant. The fact that they held him.
They've got the first down, I think. No, they don't. They didn't get the good mark, did he? He had the ball up over the stack, but they didn't give him all of it. And sure enough, there it is. So they knew better than we. I thought on that first mark he had it. But the sideline marker across the way was sitting right on the 35-yard stripe.
That was a good defensive play.
Good work.
The reason I'm laughing, I've never seen you do a game undercover with an umbrella.
I know it.
And it is blowing in that bad. I
have an apron, too, to keep the left dry. First down, Arizona State, as they hold UCLA at the top of the stack and take the ball, leading 3-0. And John Walker on first down. Looping from the outside, cornerback Dennis Price got him. Price, who had the 100-yard kick return, or I guess it was an interception in the last week in the Cal game. And he comes outside, outruns the blocker, and makes the hit. There's my umbrella. See it?
We're getting blown away. We're on top of the roof, and this was a kind of a thing that they built a little later on. And it's pretty windy up here.
The loss is back to the 27 from the 35. Second down and 18. This is Darrell Harris. The Bruins bring him out and take him down at the 30. Chance Johnson, number 7, an inside backer, makes the tackle for the Bruins. I always thought, ever since I saw the name for the first time, Chance Johnson ought to be a gunfighter.
Arizona State on the right with no first downs and no passing yardage. Only 13 yards rushing. UCLA dominant in the first quarter, although ASU leads 3-0 by virtue of the field goal following the interception.
Make it the 31-yard line. Make it third down at about 15. Walker to Channing Williams. He lost control of the ball, bobbled it around, and a couple of penalty flags go down. We're in the second quarter of play, 13:28 to go, first half. Arizona State leading on a a Zendejas field goal of 37 yards. And the weather conditions are miserable right now. See some breaking in the clouds, so let us hope that the weather is going to improve. Iowa did beat Indiana 29-21, which really throws that Big Ten race now, reopens the door.
It opens the door for Ohio State to get back in it, and Michigan also, all with one loss.
And Michigan State
I was referring to, yeah.
All right, the punt by Shue. He's had 3 50-yarders. This is going to be close to it. The ball is dropped by Henley, but he picks it up, and he's still alive with it and finally slides down at the 19-yard line. So he's punted 4 times in tough weather, and he's over 50 yards on all 4 points. Punt.
I think the conditions are a lot worse up here, Keith, than they are down there. Doesn't seem to be as windy down there, although the field is very slippery. Henley was a running back in high school this time, just can't get away.
Spain here at Sun Devil Stadium. Eric Ball is in the backfield. Gaston Green out, pinched nerve in his neck, affecting his right shoulder. Ball is the tailback, Primus the fullback. Aikman checking off. Crowd jumps into it quickly. And carrying the ball, Eric Ball. And Ball, the junior out of Ypsilanti, Michigan, hit by Saute Sapolu, the nose guard from Long Beach, California, for Arizona State. Sun Devils are leading 3-0.
The Bruins have a lot of depth at that tailback position. Ball has been injured with a slightly separated shoulder. He ran for over 200 yards in the Rose Bowl in 1986, was the player of the game, so they've got a lot of talent there.
Second down and 9. Troy Aikman gets it in the air, and the pass is caught by Willie Anderson. Flipper coming back to the ball, falling down as he makes the catch. That's his 3rd catch of the ball game.
There's no question that Aikman is going to have to pick up the slack because Green is out of there, and ASU is stacking 8 men against the run. That leaves the secondary wide open for the pass, and Flipper Anderson is making the most of it. Aikman.
12:15 to go in the first half. First down, Bruins, their own 35-yard line. Penalty flag from the referee's pocket as Eric Ball hits into the middle, and Sean Patterson nails him down. Penalty, Bruins. Motion. Somebody left too soon. So 2 coaches, Cooper and Donahue, old friends.
Old friends, friendly rivals. They've known each other for 20 years. Goes back to when Still first down. Cooper was coaching the defensive backs at UCLA, and Donahue was playing in the defensive line. They coached 4 years together at Kansas. In fact, the graduate assistant at the time, Donahue, spent 3 or 4 weeks at the home of Cooper while he decided whether or not he really wanted to go into coaching.
First down and 15 now as the Bruins back up 5 on the penalty from their own 30. Aikman back to throw it. Again has all day and again finds a man, Paco Craig, and Craig with a big play down to the Arizona State 44. If they can't get to Aikman, I said a while ago, he'll beat their brains out because he's too good a quarterback to have that much time.
The offensive line giving him nice protection. He looks to the right side. His primary receiver is covered. A smart quarterback looks back to his left side. And Crawford, the freshman, makes the tackle. Aikman now 7 of 12 for 93 yards.
And Bruins first down on the Sun Devil side as Aikman hands this time the ball, and ball is caught behind the line of scrimmage and fumbles the football. And Arizona State's got it. Sauta Sapolu knocks it loose for the Sun Devils. So the Bruins, who were plus 14 in takeaways coming into the ball game, giving it away today.
Sapolu right here as the man will try and come in. Watch him stuff the center and then play off the center corny. Sapolu doing a nice job. Reads it, gets in there, and ball coughs it up before he hits the ground. Arizona State with 2 big turnovers here in the first half.
Sean Patterson has the recovery for the Sun Devils, and the Devils have it at their own 46. Couple of turnovers by the Bruins. Walker gives to Harris. Harris cannot get around the corner. Number 7 I can see there, but it looked like Cornell Lake might have been involved as well. Chance Johnson and Lake. Here are the Sun Devil first half possessions so far.
Look at the plays. 3 and out on every offensive possession. That's 5 in a row. They've got 1 field goal and 4 punts. And they have yet to make a first down.
They're not doing what I thought they were going to do, and that's just hammer between the tackles.
They've tried.
This time Harris does get outside. Runs for the marker. He'll come up a little short as Ken Norton. The senior runs him down. Total offense now. UCLA had run it up over 100 to 115, mainly on AIKMAN's passing. But now the Sun Devils are beginning to get some. And
this is a little misdirection. They misdirected to try and hold Norton on the inside. As you see, 41 gets there finally. Let's take a look at it. Here's Norton. Now watch this tight end come in and block as the play starts off here, and we'll go that way. But watch Norton as he steps to his right initially. See? Now the tight end is there, but doesn't do a good job of following through with his block. Norton gets over and gets a piece of the tackle.
We got a man down on the sidelines, but I can't tell you his number. It's a Sun Devil. It is 3rd down and about 2.5. It's Harris, I think, the man down on the sideline, because he's not in there right now. And Walker's pass is tipped at the line of scrimmage and will fall incomplete. So Walker continues empty in the passing game. He's 0 for 6. And the Sun Devils will have to punt it away again.
Walker's having all kinds of problems. As we said, he hasn't played in a while. He had elbow surgery, similar to what Jim McMahon had by the same doctor, Frank Jobe in L.A. And his timing certainly isn't there yet.
4 kicks by Mike Shue, all better than 50 yards. And here's another good one, angled away from Henley. And penalty flags all over the field. So we may do that one again. He was trying to hit Coffin corner with it. They have marked it out somewhere in the neighborhood of the 12-13, which is a pretty good place to put it out. But right now, let's check the penalty. Shue having hit 17 of his 36 punts out inside the 20.
Shue was a all Pac-10 punter his freshman year 2 years ago, and has done an outstanding job of putting the ball inside the opponent's 20-yard line.
Gordon Reese bringing the ball back. And the Arizona State offensive unit galloping back on the field. The Bruins defensive unit backing onto the field.
And this is a big penalty against UCLA because it gives possession back to Arizona State.
Here's the call on it.
Illegal substitution on the defense. First down. Arizona State.
Well, that's a sideline mistake, isn't it?
No question about it.
First down of the ball game for Arizona State, comparing the quarterbacks.
Well,
but that's not the point.
Cooper did not want his man. He said, we don't need our quarterback to play great. We just need somebody that won't hurt us and won't turn the ball over. Walker has not done that, and Arizona State is ahead.
3-0 with 10.5 minutes to go in the first half. Winsley and Channing Williams in the backfield. David Winsley, the tailback. Harris was hurt on the sidelines a moment ago. This is Winsley trying to bounce it outside. And can't do it, as Dennis Price was right there for UCLA. I'll tell you one thing about the Bruin defense that is really impressive. I don't think anybody in the country runs to the ball any quicker.
No question. They get upfield so quickly. They are so fast. Speed and quickness. Watch Waller right here get into the offensive backfield. And he's not even their quickest man. He's their biggest at 258, but Lake and Norton are their quickest.
Second down, 11. Little delay, handed off to Channing Williams, the fullback, and he's game tackled around the line of scrimmage.
Take a look at the left of your screen. 31 is Lake, blocked by Knutson, number 91. He says, that's no problem. I'll just go right around you. He's got the quickness. Knutsen's got the height and strength. I tell you, it's very tough to get anything done against a defense that is so quick and so fast. They recruit them that way. A lot of those guys defensively were running backs in high school.
Blake was an all-star at Culver City. Harris is back in the lineup as the Sun Devils go to the shotgun. Snap almost got away. Walker's pass down the middle. He's got Aaron Cox all by himself. Aaron Cox is inside the 15 and down at the 12. I mean, somebody went to sleep in the secondary because he was all alone.
And the reason he was all alone, Keith, is because they blitzed 6 men. 6 men came in as he makes a nice grab with the football. Top of your screen, he just goes down and runs a curl. No linebackers are there because they were all blitzing. This is the first completion for Walker. Good field position for Arizona State.
They lead, Sun Devils do, 3-0 with 8:50 to go in the second quarter. And the ball is at the UCLA, call it the 11, just inside the 12. Williams and Harris out of the eye. And it's Harris. And it's the 10.
Harris carries.
Ken Norton, Kent Johnson, the 2 inside linebackers for UCLA. Alan Dial, strong safety, hustles back into the ball game for the Bruins, too. He's a hitter out of Anniston, Alabama, 6'1", 190. Harris now, 9 carries and 21 yards for the Sun Devils. Aaron Cox, 84, the big play man. Johnson to the bottom, number 17. This is Channing Williams, the fullback, tripped up. Kent Johnson got his foot as he went by, and he gets just to about the 8-yard line.
It's so tough to run against the Bruin defense. They're ranked number 1 in the Pac-10 and even ranked first in the entire country, averaging a little over 60 yards given up on the ground per game. And they do it mainly with their quickness.
Last year in Pasadena, Bob, it was a defensive struggle. Field goal, field goal, field goal. Only 1 touchdown.
I think you're going to see that again today.
3rd down and 6 for the Sun Devils. Key here is don't give the ball away. Walker pulls it down, runs right into the stack, and goes down.
Walker tackled behind the line.
Terry Toomey, number 40, was there, and he ran right into it.
Number 40, Terry Toomey.
Toomey is an all Pac-10 player the last 2 years. Not that big, only 230 pounds at nose tackle, but he's got the quickness and the toughness. And the defensive coordinator, Bob Field, says he's got the heart. He goes all out every play.
Zendejas has hit a 37-yarder for the lead. Now he's going to try a 29-yarder. Snap was a little offline, but Garrett got it down, and the kick is good from 29 yards. So a pair of field goals at 6:41 to go in the first half. Puts Arizona State up 6-0. Kickoff by Zendejas. Takes a bounce, comes inside. He got away with it, almost stepping out of bounds. But finally, the return comes back to about the 22, 23-yard line. That was Randy Austin, an inside linebacker, who was there to block. But he had to make the catch of the ball as it bounced back into the field. Tonight, you're on ABC. Join Terry Belafonte Harper and Dick Van Patten for a devil of a good time on Halloween. The Midnight Hour, followed by Hotel. They had all kinds of Halloween antics planned here in Tempe today, but the storm has done most of them in, I'm afraid. Brian Brown, the tailback now. AIKMAN rolls it out for the Bruins. Fires his pass, and he's got Paco Craig making the catch. And they'll give him up to about the 37, 38-yard line. So that gets him off the hook on about a 16-yard pickup. Bruins have moved the ball quite a bit, but there's nothing but a 0 on the scoreboard.
Made 2 key mistakes, one offensively on the interception that produced 3 points, one defensively on the illegal procedure which gave first down on the last possession, and another Arizona State field goal.
AIKMAN has hit 4 passes in a row on first down from the 38, throws the sideline, and it's good. Caught by Willie Anderson. And Willie is out of bounds on the Arizona State 47 in front of Eric Allen. So they are picking on the left cornerback, Eric Allen.
Well, Eric Allen is holding his own, but this time he gets beat. The problem here is 8 men are committed up to the run. They've stopped the run, but the corners are out there on an island by themselves, and that little quick out will be there all day. They'll give them that. They just don't want to give them any cheap, easy scores.
Another first down for the Bruins. Off to Brown, and Brian Brown, 5'9", 185 from Carson, California, is in there for 5, close to 6 yards. Gaston Green, pinched nerve in his neck, lost the strength in his right arm, in case you wonder where he is. He's on the bench. And if they don't get some strength and feeling back into that arm by halftime, we may not see him anymore today. Brown has picked up 27 yards for UCLA on the ground. That's all they have, 27 yards. AIKMAN again, all day, pass almost picked off. He's been intercepted once already. And that time, Stacy Harvey, the inside linebacker, had a shot at it and almost got it.
Well, watch Harvey right here as the back. Brown is going to come out and break to the outside and hook up. Watch as Harvey sees him all the way. It's a zone coverage. He drops straight back. Now he reads the eyes of AIKMAN, goes for the interception and just misses it.
Actually, they've been in position to pick off 4 passes.
They've given up some yardage through the air, but they've stopped him every time.
AIKMAN getting a little heat this time, and they get it. Back up to 49. Sean Patterson and Trace Armstrong. Good playing in the secondary by Arizona State. AIKMAN just simply couldn't find anybody.
That's exactly right, Keith. They call that a coverage sack. The coverage was there. The young people in the secondary doing a nice job and allowed Armstrong and Patterson to get there for the sack.
Barkate, the punt, junior from Lancaster, California. Nathan LeDuc, the freshman from Phoenix, to receive it back at the 10. 2 punts by Barkate, 42 and 41. Gets good rotation on the ball, knocks it into the end zone. Arizona State again will come out to the 20. 3 punts by Barkate, all 3 going into the end zone. Time remaining, 4:37. First half. Down at their own 20 with Harris and Williams behind John Wolford. Goes to Channing Williams, the big fullback. And he's got 5 to the 25, where Melvin Jackson brings him down. Melvin Jackson, number 59, one of those quiet players, came out to UCLA from Suffolk, Virginia. Shows it, he had his choice of a lot of classy places to go. And he's done a fine job.
Started as a sophomore 2 years ago, Keith, and is playing this year because of the injury to Eric Smith, who was supposed to be an All-American candidate, who's out for the year.
Second down and 5. Not a whole lot there for Channing Williams that time. Channing is a senior out of Sacramento. Carnell Lake, junior from Inglewood or Culver City, brought him down. As you look at other scores, Arkansas winning and A&M having a little trouble with Louisiana Tech. A lot of folks in the Southwest Conference got a chance to win that championship too, it appears.
It's a wide open conference at this point.
This is a big ball game in the Pac-10 standings. In the chase for the Rose Bowl, Arizona State looking at 3rd down and about 4. This is Darrell Harris. Dives and gets his first down as he crosses the 30-yard line. Marcus Turner brings him down, but the Sun Devils will snap it 4 more times.
That's the key, Keith. They want to take some time off the clock. 3 minutes and 12 seconds left to go in the half. Just toss it, gets upfield for a first down, and that's all they're concerned about now is possession. Keep the ball.
3 minutes to go in the first half. Aaron Cox has caught 1 ball today, and it was a big one down the middle. They run it again, and a couple of yards on the carry for Harris. Darrell Harris is out of Ramona, California, 185-pound senior, with 28 yards on 11 carries here in the first half.
And last week, gaining over 190 yards. In fact, the last 2 weeks, both Channing, Williams, and Harris have averaged 327 yards a game rushing.
Double wide, bottom of the picture. Johnson and Cox on second down. Williams, the fullback, gets it off the outside, breaks it big. He's around the corner, and it's a foot race. And out of bounds at the 27-yard line of UCLA. Eric Turner and Carnell Lake ran him down.
Here's Lake out here. Now he's going to overrun the play. Norton is going to be fooled. Now watch the nice cutback over here. Lake, with all that speed, coming upfield. Williams cuts it back. Now the man that runs him down is the linebacker, Carnell Lake, number 31. Runs the 40 in 4.37. But an outstanding run by Williams.
40 yards. That gives him 50 yards, as you see, in 8 carries. He goes out for a breather. Kirk Windorf, minute fullback, replacing him. First down, Sun Devils. Harris inside the 25 to the 24, 3 yards. Waller and Johnson. Defensively for the Bruins, at 1:55 to go in the first half. And coming up at halftime, run down the scores and highlights with Al Shotwig and Jim Hill. And our halftime report from Prudential. Johnson and Cox to the top of the picture now for the Sun Devils on second down and 7. Stay inside, goes to Windorf. Windorf out of Granada Hills, California, in the San Fernando Valley. Runs for about 2-3 yards there on the carry. Let's quickly pick up Mike Adamle.
Well, Keith, if trailing Arizona State 6-0 wasn't bad enough and the Sun Devils threatening to score again, more bad news from the bench right now. The backup tight end, Joe Pickard, is out for the game. He's got a bad right knee. Of course, they took in Gaston Green along with Mel Farr Jr. Again, they're working on the neck of Gaston Green. He's got a pinched nerve. They're trying to work out that muscle and hopefully get some of that strength back so he can carry the football in the second half.
Third down and 4. The pitch was a little high for Darrell Harris. And he really never got his momentum, and he's dropped just about the line of scrimmage by Mike Lodish. A big sophomore tackle from Birmingham, Michigan. So here comes Alan Zendejas. He's kicked a 37-yarder and a 29-yarder. This one's going to be a little bigger. The wind swirling around. It's blowing like the thickets up here on top of the stadium, but apparently not so much down below. This will be a 38-yard field goal try. It's up. It's good. So Arizona State with 3 field goals from Alan Zendejas, 37, 29, and 38 yards, lead it 9-0. It's exclusive, being brought to you by Michelob Light. When the sun goes down, light up the night with Michelob Light. And by Mr. Goodwrench. No one knows your GM car better than Mr. Goodwrench. No one. Zendejas kicks off, rolls it on the ground, and down by number 20, Mark Eastwick, for UCLA at the 26-yard line. The Bruins trailing 9-0 with 8 seconds to play in the first half. Timeouts. Bruins have 2 remaining. For the Bruins. Joe Pickard hurt again. Knee gone. That leaves one tight end, Corwin Anthony, but Mel Farr Jr. has been working at the tight end position. So he can step in there too. AIKMAN takes the snap, puts a knee down. They'll go to the clubhouse with a score as it is. At halftime, Arizona State 9 off to James Primus and Brian Brown for UCLA. They are on Mother Earth here in this stadium. And early on, immediately following the storm at the beginning of the game, a lot of slipping and sliding around. But the footing seemed to improve as the rain let up some. It should be all right here in the second half. All right, here we go. This could be the down payment on the ticket to the Rose Bowl for the winner. Good kick. Yard deep in the end zone, Brown. to the 15. They'll mark him up to the 16. Well, that's pretty good coverage. John Cooper fussing a lot over his kick coverage and his special teams. He doesn't feel that they've been very productive. Stacey Harvey, who is playing like a wild man from the real Halloween world today. I mean, he's really having a ball game.
He got started off slowly this year, Harvey did. He had to miss a little bit of time early in the training camp in August because of some grades. He's just getting back into shape, playing a fine game today.
Call it the 17 officially with Brian Brown and James Primus. Apparently Gaston Green can't go. We'll check it for you. Pinch nerve. Aikman rolls out to throw from deep in his own territory. Now pulls it down and will pick up about 9 yards up near the 25. David Newmore, defensive tackle, was the man that came over and shoved him out. So it's Brown, the tailback, Primus, the fullback. Mel Farr is probably going to have to play some tight end. They've only got one left. That's Corwin Anthony, because Joe Pickard is also hurt. They go double wide, top of the picture. Pitch it back to Brown, and Brown cannot turn the corner. Boy, there were 3 Sun Devils over there, led by Pat Taylor, who got the first hit. Mike Adamle now with a story on Gaston Green.
Well, Keith, it's bad news for the Bruins. Gaston Green will not play for the rest of the afternoon with that pinched nerve in his neck that we mentioned. The team doctors just felt it is too severe for him to play at all. He's having trouble regaining any kind of feeling, enough feeling in his arm and strength in his arm to carry that pigskin. So Gaston Green is out in the second half.
He got hurt in the 3rd possession for UCLA in the first quarter. 3rd down and call it 2. They go to Brown, and Brown's close to his first down. I called one earlier. I think I'll wait for the spot on this one. This is a tough little back. He's not so little. He's 5'9", 185 pounds, and they've got Eric Ball, who is just about rehabilitated, to back him up. So they have good depth at that running back position.
And where they're hurting, Keith, is at tight end. We mentioned that Pickard is out. Also, Charles Arbuckle, their fine sophomore tight end, led the team in receptions coming in, is out for another couple of weeks.
Mel Farr is on the sideline, but he may be dinged up too. Back goes Aikman to throw it. Gets it off over here, and it's incomplete, intended for Anthony. The pass bouncing in front of Corwin. That's a look at your top 10. I'll let you read it while we locate the ball for you. Make it 2nd down and 10. The ball up at the 27.
Keith, it's a credit to defensive coordinator Larry Marmee of the Sun Devils that his team is playing so well. We mentioned early and often in the first half about the injuries in that secondary. They shut out UCLA the first half. They're the number 2 offense in the Pac-10.
Aikman option. Outside, Brown to the 29, and that'll do it. Sun Devils defense doing what John Cooper said they would have to do to have a chance to win, and that's go flying all over the place fanatically. Inside linebacker Greg Clark made that hit.
We had a nice conversation with Cooper yesterday, and he was saying he didn't have a good feeling about this ball game. He said mainly because of the fact that his quarterback situation being unsettled and all those injuries in the secondary for his team. They're playing very well today.
It is 3rd and 8. Out of the shotgun, Aikman goes down the sidelines, and it is caught by Willie Anderson. Flipper comes down with a great catch under pressure. Eric Allen was right with him, but he just out-jumped him and made the catch for a first down at the Arizona State 37.
Anderson's over on the right side. We can go ahead and run it. We'll see that he's going to throw the ball down 4 on the sideline. Allen's in shape, good shape as you mentioned, but he's just going to out-jump him for the football.
Flipper has 5 catches for 90 yards in the ball game. And it's first down Bruins at the Sun Devil 37. Arizona State leading 9-0. This is Brian Brown. A yard. Greg Clark, 36, the man.
Here's Clark, the leading tackler, coming into this ball game. Gets hit there by 74 Warnick, and then stays with it and gets a good piece of the tackle.
Give him 2. progression. It's the 6th time that UCLA has been in Arizona State's side of the field. But no score so far. Primus is the lone remaining back now as they go 3 wideouts. And Aikman drops the throw. Good time down the middle. Post pattern. Paco Craig. Touchdown. UCLA. He split Eric Allen and Jeff Malstead.
Malstead is here. He's the man that's going to get beat as the receiver comes from the right side. But watch Malstead. He's a junior college transfer who is playing free safety because of all the injuries. This time it cost him. It's in and out on the wide receiver. Paco Craig goes right past him, and the ball is thrown over his head for a touchdown.
And so for the 189th consecutive time, UCLA has scored in a ball game. A 35-yard play, and Alfredo Velasco, a sophomore from Burbank, California, for the point. That snap wasn't too good, but it was handled all right by Kirk Maggio, a punter. So 11:54 to go in the 3rd quarter. It's now a 9-7 ball game. Arizona State. David Winsley deep. 9-7 now. Arizona State. A couple of Sun Devils run together, and they weren't listening. And Cahoon finally covers the ball as Drew Metcalf, a linebacker, freshman, came drifting back. He was going to make the play. He had visions of a big return here, maybe, but gotten away is what he did.
Well, the word here is if you have to go back for the football, you ought to let the man coming forward make the play so he can see what's in front of him and catch it with his momentum going forward.
So the Sun Devils wind up possessing the ball all right, even though it did roll around on the ground for a bit. They'll have it up around the 24-yard line.
Well, Terry Donahue, talking to his Bruins at halftime, must have said some good things. They came out, took the ball, went down and scored. Let's see if the Sun Devils do anything with their first possession.
They go to Darrell Harris out of the tailback slot, and he runs it out to the 27 for a pickup of 3 yards. You need 5 if you're going to grind it. You need 4 or 5 yards on that first down play. And they have not been able to get it.
Take a look at Norton. He's the inspirational leader of that ball club. Also the leading tackler. Finalist for the Butkus Award, which is given to the outstanding linebacker.
2nd down and 7. Walker gets his pass away. It is picked off. And picking it off, number 59, Melvin Jackson. He got it away a little too late. Didn't have enough loft on it.
Well, you hit the key word on the head there, Keith. He throws it a little late, as you saw a blitz there by the strong safety Dial. Under pressure, the man was double covered to begin with. And Jackson picks off his first interception of the year and the 16th for UCLA.
Now the Bruins have a chance to take the lead for the first time today with 11:11 to go in the 3rd quarter.
UCLA, excuse me, Keith, I was just going to mention they've got 13 interceptions the last 4 games and have returned 4 of them for touchdowns, so a big part of their game.
Aikman gives it inside the Primus. And I'm pretty curious about Mel Farr. Mike Adamler will check his condition for us, please, because he has not been in there. Gain on that play of about 3 yards. 2nd down, 7. Mike Farr comes in at a wide receiver spot now, and Corwin Anthony comes out. So they've got Willie Anderson, Mike Farr, Paco Craig. Wide people. Farr has caught 3 balls for 24 yards, all in the first quarter. Out of the shotgun, 2nd down, and 7 down the middle. Pass drilled, caught by Farr. And he's down close to the 10-yard line. Just a bit short, half a yard or so, of the first down.
Let's see if Anderson comes back and talks to him. There you see number 83, Willie Anderson, was just saying, hey, I was wide open in the corner of the end zone because Crawford, the defensive back and freshman over there on the corner, fell down. But you can't see everything at the same time.
Now Mel Farr is in, but he's in as a tight end. He's in to block on a double tight end alignment. 3rd down and a yard. Elfar Jr. playing tight end. They give it to Brown. Brown just depends on your spot. Again, it looked like he got it. But I thought that a while ago. J.C. Harvey was the guy who belted him at the top of the stack. They will measure at 9:39 to go in the third quarter. While they bring the chains on, in case you're wondering what happens down the road, Bruin faithful, I'm sure, know where they're going from here. After Arizona State, they have Oregon State in Corvallis, Washington in Pasadena, and then USC at the Coliseum. Arizona State, on the other hand, has perhaps a little easier road. They're just short. Arizona State will have Oregon at home, then at California, an open date, and then finishing November 28 against Arizona.
I don't think there's any question that Arizona State has the easier schedule. Two of their last 3 games being at home, and UCLA having to play Washington and Southern Cal.
USC's last 4 at home, and the Trojans are still in it. And so the Bruins, coming up short, will go for the field goal, and the lead, Alfredo Velasco. And a penalty flag. 27-yard field goal try may be extended a bit by whatever this flag is about.
Well, Velasco is a perfect 11 of 11 inside the 44-yard line. He's only 1 of 5 outside, so he's perfect from this distance or 5 yards back if that's the case.
Dead ball. Full start, offense, still 4th down.
That's the case. He's a sophomore. He's following almost exactly the steps of the All-American John Lee at UCLA, even living in the room that John used to rent from Bishop Oliver Garvey. We'll back it up, make it a 32-yarder now. And plenty of leg and good. And so the Bruins go to the lead at 9:15 to go in the third quarter. 32-yard field goal. Make it 10-9. UCLA. UCLA Bruins score 10 points in 5 minutes and 45 seconds of the third quarter to take the lead 10-9 over Arizona State. And drifting back, waiting for it, is David Winsley. 1-yard line. Comes back to the 15, dropped the football, but recovers it. Oh, that'll stop your heart for a second as he came down on the ground without the ball. In the NFC, the Giants and the Cowboys. Next Monday night at 9 Eastern Time out of Irving, Texas. Presentation of the NFL. I imagine Al's had a nice restful week, huh? He had a tough week last week.
He's a little bit busy, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Short of the 15 now. Sun Devil. Trailing by 1. Work it inside with Shannon Williams. Williams had one big play in the first half. Let's check in with Mike for a moment.
Keith, one man who is not surprised that UCLA was able to bounce back from that 9-0 deficit is former All-American quarterback Rick Neuheisel, who led the Bruins to a Rose Bowl title back in 1984, beating the University of Illinois. Very impressed with Troy Aikman, aren't you?
Oh, absolutely. Troy's a gifted athlete, and he's really come along as a quarterback, and I look for him to do a lot of good things left in this game.
Rick, I noticed that at one point during this game, you walked over onto the bench and talked to Troy a little bit. Tell us what it was about.
Well, like one quarterback to another quarterback, just talking what I'm seeing in the secondary and just trying to give him a couple little pointers, but he doesn't need a lot of help. He's a gifted player, and he's going to do real well just by himself.
You still bleed that Bruin blue and gold, don't you?
Yeah, but on Halloween, you got to wear your colors low, Mike. Just say hi to the folks in L.A.
It's obvious that you're from L.A., Keith.
Well, he was active in the USFL days, had a very fine run at it, and almost won himself a job down in San Diego during the strike.
He's been a volunteer coach and has helped Aikman out quite a bit.
It is now third down and about 8 for Arizona State. From the 17, the shotgun, Walker getting pressured backside and hit as he throws, and the pass is incomplete. Jim Waller. Waller now has made 2 plays in a row defensively. And the Bruins should get the football in pretty good field position here. Walker is now 1 of 9. So John Cooper who wanted a quarterback that wouldn't make the bad play, but he may be getting himself in a fix where he needs a quarterback to make a big play. Shoes punt. Low. That gives Henley a little room. He reverses the ball off and hauling it back upfield. Wide receiver, number 82, David Keating. And Keating comes all the way back to the Arizona State 28-yard line after a 50-yard punt by Shoes.
The top of your screen. Watch the man at the top of your screen circling back. He was not lined up deep. He was lined up short. There's nobody down the right side of the field. A nice block there. Finally, the kicker has to come over and slow him up for the tackle to be made by Eric Allen.
Special teams, kicking game. Oh, boy. First down, Bruins, Sun Devil 28. Aikman rolls to the open side, gets his pass away, and it is caught for a first down at the 17-yard line by Willie Anderson. Bruins have a full head of steam right now.
Coming into the game, Keith, they had a very balanced attack, averaging like 223 yards rushing and 210 yards passing. But with the tough ASU defense against the run, it's been pass first and run second. Today, 208 yards passing, only 38 rushing.
Aikman hands it to Primus, and Primus gets to the 15 for 2, where he runs into Mark Duckin. Duckin started the year having come over from Wichita State as a tackle, but has been sent moved to a backup position in nose guard behind Sapolu. Looks like we're going to be lucky with the weather now. Sun's coming out for the second half. This is the 8th time the Bruins have been on the ASU side of midfield. They lead it now 10-9, taking the lead with 10 points here in the third quarter. Aikman goes down at near the 12. They've got to go close to the 7 to get their first down as Zumwalt got the tackle. Look at that. My goodness, they scored 64 points on them last year. USC Washington State, the Coliseum in Los Angeles. California jumping on Oregon up at Eugene. And Stanford leading Arizona. Aikman has hit 9 of his last 11 passes. It is third down and 5. Gets his pass off underneath in front of the linebacker to about the 8. And that's close. Right foot or left foot. If he's left-footed on the mark, gets a first down. And he is right-footed, but it's close enough for the change. That was Corin Anthony, the tight end. And Anthony ducked right in front of that linebacker. And for the third time today, we've got the change trotting on the field. Every inch is precious at this point in the ball game. A one-pointer, 10-9 Bruins. They're knocking on the door right here. Short. Boy, we've had a lot of close plays.
We certainly have. Last time he kicked a field goal.
That's what we've got for you next Saturday. The Pac-10, they haven't made up their mind yet on which one of those games it's going to be. It depends obviously on what happens today. But for a fact, some of you are going to see Michigan, Minnesota. Under the dome. Bring your earmuffs. It'll get loud. Oh, they're just short of the first down.
And they're going to go for it, Keith. Aikman is a hot quarterback this half. He's 5 of 6, 91 yards and a touchdown.
Crowd trying to get into it. Quarterback sneak, that should be enough. He went right in behind the center, Cornish, Frank Cornish, John Kidder, and Rick Meyer. And it should be first down and goal.
I think they're going to bring the chains out again. We saw a shot of Terry Donahue. He's never lost on this field. He is 3-0 in Tempe, and 6-1-1 against the Sun Devils.
He's also the winningest coach in UCLA history. I say he's got it this time, but he may not. Yep, Wolfer, that's close. Only twice in 27 tries on the ground has UCLA been able to pick up more than 3 yards. So the Arizona State defense holding to its form. They just give ground grudgingly.
Well, they were second in the Pac-10 in giving points defensively.
It is first and goal from the 7 for UCLA, and Aikman rolls to the wide field, throws to the corner, touchdown. Paco Craig, second of the day.
Craig is up here at the top. He's just going to go down and break to the outside. The cornerback right here is just going to not cover him. Very poor coverage. You got to play the end zone. He got to protect the outside. He lets Craig break to the outside. Your help is inside. Nice play by Paco Craig for the touchdown.
Velasco coming for the extra point try. The Bruins have been out thundering here in the second half. Kick's good. With 5:13 to play in the third quarter, UCLA is now out to a 17-9 lead.
Sprint out gives you a little bit more time to pass. Also gets you out there where it's an easier throw. Again, beating the freshman Crawford. Big touchdown.
When I had to do the game. Kickoff down to the 7-yard line for David Winsley. Bruins grabbing for the ball, as you saw, but Winsley tucked it away and controlled it and brought it back to about the 28-yard line. 5:08 now. John Walker. Nope. Daniel Ford. It is Ford coming out at quarterback for Arizona State. He started the season.
He's a strong-arm kid. He's a little bit more nonchalant, a little blasé. Cooper says, I want somebody more emotional. He has to try something different at this stage.
He's been warming up on the sidelines, and he rolls it out to throw it and whips it. And he almost comes up with another interception as Henley was right there. Darrell Henley stepped in front of the intended receiver, Chris Garrett, and almost came down with it. But I think Ford's got a little more zip on the ball.
No question about that. He has a stronger arm. He just doesn't understand the offense as well as Walker does. And in the style of offense that Jim Coletto, the offensive coordinator, uses at Arizona State, the quarterback has to check off a lot at the line of scrimmage. Ford is not as good as Walker in doing that.
Garrett's out, and Tony Johnson comes in at that flanker spot for the Sun Devils, and Ford back to throw it. Whips it. Pass is caught by Winsley. And he'll be thrown down at the 34, and that's a pickup for 5. So it'll be 3rd down and 5 for the Sun Devils. At 4 minutes and 45 seconds to go in the third quarter.
And what you're going to see here now is UCLA knows he's going to be throwing. They're going to use a lot of their blitzes and stunts, their safety blitzes. They're coming from everywhere to try and mess up the blocking schemes for the offensive line for the Sun Devils.
Ford is 1 for 2. That is only the second Arizona State completion in the ball game. Ford back on 3rd and 5, gets it off. That one's, oh my goodness. Well, Ellen Dial had it, but he was off balance when he got to the ball. He's laying there wishing what might have been, as Terry Toomey was the guy making life miserable.
Right here, watch him as he comes right up the middle, Keith. He slants to his right side and splits the 2 offensive linemen. Ford is hit as he's throwing it.
Shoe into punt, gets it out, tail dragger. Looking up into the bright sun, Henley calls fair catch for UCLA. Bruins have the ball at their own 25. That his shortest punt of the day. Didn't quite turn it over. It's good for 41 yards. So we've got 4:08 to go, third quarter. Control of the football game in the third quarter. First down at the 25. Pitch it to Brian Brown. And Brown will pick up 3 as he gets it up around the 28, where Stacy Harvey gets one more tackle. He's got a double hand pull down. Bruins go to the wide side of the field with 3 wide receivers total, 1 on the boundary. And out of the shotgun on 2nd down and 7, they throw it all the way across the field to Mike Farr, who gets it out to about the 31. Here's Mike.
Keith, this is the time of year when people start thinking about those postseason bowl games. There are 8 bowl representatives in attendance here today at Sun Devil Stadium. One of them is Chuck Carmen, who represents the Florida Citrus Bowl to be held on January 1st on ABC. Obviously, the winner of this game is going to be a lock almost to go to the Rose Bowl, Chuck. But the loser is very attractive as well for you people, are they not?
That's right, Mike. We're looking for the highest-ranked national team that's going to provide the best intersectional audience for ABC.
Well, you've got about 13 different representatives all over the country.
We're looking at about a dozen games this weekend, and we're spread out all over the country from the west to the east.
What kind of things come into play when you're looking for attractive teams? Obviously, something other than just sheer talent.
That's true. We're looking for a strong team again that can provide a good matchup. In the Florida Citrus Bowl, we'd like to have teams from across the country provide a good national audience for television also as well.
And also things as far as alumni concerned, the number of people you can bring to a football game.
Of course. We did last year, USC and Auburn. Had a great game. Alumni brought a lot of people. It's a good trip to Orlando. A lot of fun.
Okay, I know. I had a good time there last year. Thank you, Chuck.
Thank you.
Keith?
Nathan LeDuc drops back now for Harold Parkate's punt. Shoots it. Good kick. The freshman goes back to the 21. They run a reverse.
He's going.
He's got 1 man to beat, and he couldn't do it. My gosh, he had 4 people in front, and number 51 didn't get the row open for Lynn James. Number 51 came down for the block, and he didn't make the play. Pat Taylor had the chance to clear the way, and Pat just missed the man.
The Duke hands it off. This is the same type of reverse that UCLA just ran. Punt return, reverse. They should have scored on this if they would have gotten down and blocked him. Nice play, saving tackle for UCLA.
First down for Arizona State at the UCLA 35. So this is the first opportunity they've had for anything in the second half. Dan Ford, the quarterback. Give the ball to Winsley, and he's to the 30. Well, Pat Taylor has got a penalty flag thrown across the way. Pat Taylor's going to look at that film and really fuss over it because he just missed taking the man down. First face mask, UCLA, and that's going to move the ball on down.
Kenny Norton, 41, backing up the line. Fights off Channing Williams. No way you can see the face mask from there, but a lot of tough hitting going on at that line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that's a game for the big fellows down there today, isn't it?
No question about it.
There's some whacking and cracking. That was an inadvertent face mask. We've got somebody's plastic bag that's come out of the stand, gone with the field. A lot of folks carrying plastic bags today because it was raining like the dickens when folks started coming to the ball yard. Ford brings him up. Still got it. He's out here all by himself and takes off. And dives for the sidelines and out of bounds at the 14 before Brad Grayson, Melvin Jackson can bring him down. Melvin Jackson has made 3 big plays defensively on that side of the field.
Well, one of the things that Ford can do for you is he can get out and run. Jackson is suckered in on the play. Ford gets down and picks up a nice first down before he's pushed out of bounds.
Melvin Jackson playing the boundary side at the outside linebacker position with the faster man, Darnell Lake, playing the open side of the field. First down, Sun Devils, Bruins 14. This is Winsley into the middle, and he's close to the 10. And we get a little scuffle down inside between the big boys.
Randall McDaniel, 62 in there. Let's take a look. McDaniel, 62, is going to pull from his left guard, go to the right side, and double teams the defensive tackle over there. Which is Glasser, 58.
Notice what Toomey did. He reached around and slapped at the ball. I think they figured that maybe they can knock that thing loose. They've managed to once already from Winsley. Second down. Ball just short of the 10. Ford gives to the fullback, and Channing Williams is tied up at the line of scrimmage and doesn't get much. Maybe the 9, Alan Dial, the strong safety, that stepped in there almost as a linebacker to fill.
They're an aggressive bunch, Keith. They're very attacking style defense. I mentioned earlier how many interceptions that they had and how many 9 different players on that defensive unit has intercepted at least one pass this year already.
It is third down and 5 for Arizona State at the Bruin 9. Ford still got it. Throws it. Pass caught by Channing Williams inside the 5. First and goal. Sun Devils at the UCLA close to the 3. Ken Norton and Darrell Henley diving for him.
Receiver is going to come out of the backfield here. Now watch as this man bypasses him on the blitz. An aggressive style. The man bypassing, there's nobody in the flat to cover him. The inside linebacker has to get out there and cover him. Norton gets out there a little too late.
Two fullbacks in there now, Windorf and Williams for Arizona State. It's Williams. Close to the goal line, but not in.
Williams carries.
And he tucked right in behind Rando McDaniel. Second down for the Sun Devils. Timeout, Arizona State, with 11 seconds to play in the third quarter. So Dan Ford, not sure, wants to make sure. Arizona State. Williams. Touchdown, Sun Devils.
Just tough football right here as Kayla, 65, comes around. Johnson is there, but the momentum carries him into the end zone.
Going for 2. With 8 seconds to play third quarter, they're going for the tie. Winsley back in the backfield. Garrett in motion. Ford back to throw it. Gets it off just as he is hit. Melvin Jackson. One more big play for Melvin.
Jackson is right here. The man will go in motion. Nobody will pick him up. This is why UCLA defensively is so tough. They give you so many different looks. The back was supposed to get him. Channing Williams, number 44, checking into the line and then back out, but the speed of Jackson got there and saved 2 points for UCLA.
So the Bruins retained the lead, but we very much have a contest. The logic obvious there that if he goes for 2, he's got the tie. If he fails, he's down by only 2, where a field goal can still give him the lead if that opportunity presents itself.
Was a good decision by Cooper. He's back in the ball game, and he made a nice decision, but it's always a tough decision for a head coach when he changes quarterbacks. Yep. So many of them, they can change other people on the club, but when you change quarterbacks, it affects everyone, the fans, the media. Everybody wants to know when you're going to change or why you change. You can change the left guard. Now he's exalting the crowd. He wants the crowd to help him out.
17-15. 8 seconds to go, third quarter. Bruins lead. Zendejas' kick is a good one. Down to Brown at the 6, bobbled for a moment. And down short of the 20. So the coverage has been pretty good on both sides on kickoff returns. There have been a couple of breakdowns, but good coverage right there. First down for the Bruins, their own 19. They lead by 2. Last play of the third quarter. Aikman's pass is away and good. Caught by Paco Craig, who's having a big day. And it's a big gain. It's out to the 37-yard line at the end of quarter number 3. Just 15 minutes to go. Well, I'll tell you one thing. Coach McPherson's got a pretty good football team, apparently. I thought this was a tough stop for them, but they survived it. Now, UCLA leading by 2. First down, 37-yard line. Back goes Troy Aikman. Aikman has been the bell cow of the ball club since Gaston Green went down, and he drills another pass to Mike Farr, and Farr takes it all the way to the Arizona State 43-yard line. Mike, the sophomore brother in the Farr family. Mel Jr. is a senior.
There's 7 sons on this UCLA team of famous players that either played in the NFL or was a professional boxer.
Bruins with a big play and have the first down. They send Brown in motion. Aikman throwing again. Goes underneath with it. And it's caught by Corwin Anthony, the tight end. Drag that tight end across. It's a staple play, and it's still one of the best plays in football and one of the safest as it goes down to the 37.
Well, Steve AIKMAN, the offensive coordinator, was with Mouse Davis for a couple of years at Denver. The USFL has done a nice job of putting some of his ideas into this UCLA offense. And he's got a man that can read properly. And Aikman, you look downfield. If it's not open, you hit the underneath man.
Second down and 4. Going for Anderson, no good. Off his hands. Willie had it on his hands, but there was an Arizona State man flying underneath him, Eric Crawford, and the contact came with the ball, and he couldn't hold it.
The updated stats, the possession time is nearly the same, but look at the passing yardage. It's been just the opposite. UCLA doing everything through the air. ASU has gotten hardly anything through the air. The only thing they've gotten is 103 yards on the ground.
3rd and 4. Crowd coming up. Aikman scrambling down. Back on the Arizona State 45. They got preoccupied on that play, double teaming and even perhaps triple teaming Sean Patterson. And that freed Greg Clark and Trace Armstrong, and they finally got there.
Good coverage in the secondary. We've been talking about the young defensive men back there. That time they did a nice job of covering everybody till the sack arrived.
Harold Barcade, who's had a pretty good day punting the ball, in on 4th and long, and standing back at the 41, will hit it at the 45. Gets it very high. And a fair catch at the 20 by Nathan LeDuc. I tell you, he's a brassy freshman.
Terry Donnie.
Game Arizona State starts at the 20, first down. Dan Ford relieving John Walker at quarterback. Back to throw it. His pass to the sideline. Good to number 91, Gary Knutson, the tight end out of Edmonds, Washington, but he's short of his first down, it appears. Just short. One of the things that we've been poking at here is why Aaron Cox has been so quiet. He caught 1 ball in the game so far, a 30-yard pickup.
Well, before that completion, the ASU quarterbacks had only completed 3 of 13 for 41 yards. And since Ford has been in the game, they've been throwing the ball more. So we'll look to see if he can catch one down the road here.
The wind is just howling up on the roof up here, up on top. It's seemingly still quiet down on the field. Second down and a half yard. They bobble the snap. Run the ball for the first down with Darrell Harris back in, playing with a bruised shoulder. And he's going to have his first down out about the 31. Halftime now over in the Coliseum in Los Angeles, with Washington up north beating Oregon State and California jumping on the Ducks. Ducks may be kind of running out of folks now. They played it tough until people started getting banged up. And their depth is just not there for them. First down for the Sun Devils. Ford down to the sideline. Tailback Harris. And that's about a 3-yard pickup. Chance Johnson, very active linebacker for UCLA, shoved him out. When you say inside linebacker, as far as the Bruins are concerned, with Johnson and Norton, doesn't mean a thing. They're all over the place.
You know, the other thing is they wear these numbers that you're not used to seeing linebackers wear. You know, normally they wear in the 50s. Johnson is number 7. Norton is 41. Now, Norton was a running back in high school. Chance Johnson was a defensive back, so they just kept their numbers.
2nd and 7. This is Harris. And up to the 39. 2 yards short of the first down is Ken Norton on the tackle. Norton now with 9 tackles in the ball game. As we near the end of the game, we'll pick an MVP from each team, and the respective university will receive from Chevrolet and its scholarship program $1,000 for the General Scholarship Fund. Third and 2. Pass away. It was a good effort by Ford just to get it off, intended for Scott Beach. He was in the grasp of Eric Turner. And so the Sun Devils will have to punt, trailing by 2.
Play action fake. Turner on the safety blitz. Gets there and just causes enough havoc with Ford so he can't set his feet.
Shoes pass is a low line drive. Back to Henley at the 20. And good coverage by Arizona State. 41-yard punt. I thought for a moment Henley might have a little room since it was a low line drive, but Stacey Harvey, one more tackle. Bruins have it at their own 21. From the 21, UCLA's ball. Crowd comes up to its feet. The decibel count soars. Aikman trying to check off. Brown clobbered behind the line of scrimmage. Ball popped loose. He's called down. At the 16, it was Rodney Dillard, the Devilback.
Not only does Dillard make a nice hit, but he takes the ball away all at the same time. Look at this. It's a nice swipe on a Halloween day.
That's a loss of 5 yards, 2nd down and 15. Bruins now go double wide, bottom of the picture. And Aikman rolls it out. Gets his pass off, and he's got a man, and he hits him. Willie Anderson, first down, Bruins 43-yard line. Aikman has hit 16 of his last 20.
Well, here's Anderson here. Craig is going the outside. He's going to clear out the deep man, this man here, and he's just going to break to the outside. Both Craig and Alexander have gone for over 100 yards in receptions. You can't draw it up any better than this. Nice throw by Aikman.
Boy, Aikman's a pretty good-looking quarterback, isn't he? This is Brian Brown. Breaks it big. Goes all the way down to the Arizona State 43. And let's check in with Mike Adamle.
Well, Keith and Bob, you both talked about all the postseason award candidates, Heisman Trophy candidates, Outland and Lombardi Award candidates. This man has already won college golf's equivalent of the Heisman Trophy, the Fred Haskins Award. His name is Billy Mayfair. He's also the U.S. Amateur Champion. He's a senior at Arizona State and a big football fan.
You bet. Let's go Sun Devils.
What do you think so far, Billy?
I don't know. We got to stop this UCLA quarterback.
Now, you've been watching the Sun Devils since you were a little kid?
Yeah, since about 8 or 9 years old.
Yeah. What's in your future? How long will you remain an amateur, and when will you turn pro?
I'm going to finish up my eligibility this year at school, and then probably turn pro either next year or either the following year after that. I'll have to make a decision.
Okay, everybody who watched it this summer, wrap up that U.S. Amateur Champion. Terrific player. Keep it up.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you for the time.
Billy Mayfair. Keith?
Another limber kid. That's tell you, he's a good player.
Came
Good
to the
thinker.
right place to play golf, too, didn't
Yep. He's a good thinker on the golf course. Manages his game quite well. Second down and 9. As Aikman drops to throw, got Mike Farr again, and Farr breaks it all the way to the Arizona State 25, and Aikman now is just riddling the Arizona State defense.
That's a good point, Keith, and you got to give credit to the offensive line with Corny 68, Ritter number 70 doing a nice job. An easy pass, safe pass, get it to your short man, let him run with the football. A nice pickup for Mike Farr.
Aikman is now 21 of 29 for 310 yards. And it's first down Bruins at the Sun Devil 25. Going to throw it again. Gets away from the pressure. Completes the pass to the tight end, Corwin Anthony, and he's inside the 10 for a first and goal for the Bruins. He got away from Trace Armstrong. Trace had a hand on him, but couldn't hold it.
You got to be careful now. Watch the 2 offensive linemen on the right side. They're going to pull this way, but the left guard is going to pull the other way. A little bit confusing, but it... Well, I tell you, if you run into each other, it's dangerous. It was planned that way to try to confuse the linebackers for Arizona State. Did a nice job.
Well, just inside the 9, first and goal Bruins, and coming around the corner, it's Brian Brown, touchdown. I'll tell you, this Brown's a good-looking tailback to me. He's tough.
Well, it's a well-designed play, as you see number 71, Marr, pulling around in. Now it's just a matter of getting outside and using your speed. But the passing of Aikman set up the running that you saw in the last few plays.
With 8 minutes and 45 seconds to go in the ball game, Velasco for the extra point try out of the hold of Kirk Maggio. Good. So the Bruins have broadened their advantage. UCLA 24-15, 8:45 to go in the ball game, and Velasco kicks it off. Not Velasco, West Dent. That's 2 yards deep in the end zone. Vic Cahoon coming with it across the 20 and rolls out to the 22. All right. If Dan Ford comes back, I expect that he will. He was clobbered pretty good on that last play, and he was kind of gimpy going off the field. Harry Donahue, he was really fussing and fretting over this game all week long. Also, the fact that the Bruins were in midterms, and that's serious business in Westwood. Ford's in there at quarterback from the 22. On the throw it. Did he get it? Yes, he did. James Washington playing center field, a free safety. Intercepts right in front of the intended receiver, Aaron Cox. And that's been the bane for Dan Ford all year, throwing the interception.
He's had 10 coming into the game. The receiver was open. The ball just gets away from him. He throws it too far to the inside of the field. Washington comes up with his 14th career interception. And that might be the game breaker right there for Arizona State.
So Troy Aikman, who has had a huge day with Gaston Green going down with a pinched nerve in the neck on the 3rd possession, 22 out of 30, 328 yards. I imagine he'll run it a bit here, though, with a 9-point lead, and there will be no game on that play as the runner Brown is brought down. John Cooper said this yesterday of the ball game about this fella Troy Aikman, the UCLA quarterback.
We definitely don't want to get in a foot race with him. But Aikman is a guy.
Cooper was telling me yesterday that when Aikman left Oklahoma, he tried to get him to come to Arizona State. In fact, he did come over for a visit, but he came over and played golf. He said Aikman knew he was going to UCLA, and Cooper knew he was going. He says, he even used my golf clubs for 2 days.
3rd down and long 3. Out of the shotgun. Underneath. Pass caught by Brian Brown. Nope, didn't hold it. They wave it off. They wave it off. So it'll be 4th down, and the Bruins will have to give it up. Well, Arizona State doesn't expire easily. 7:15 to play in the ball game. Obviously, too, Bartgate's going to try to kill the ball somewhere inside the 15-yard line. Spins it to the corner and can't kill it. You hit those little tail draggers, and it just takes that forward bounce and accelerates and goes on to the end zone. So it'll come back to the 20, where the Sun Devils will have it. 1st down. All right, Arizona State, 1st down at the 20. 7:08 to play in the ball game. Ford, play action, passes away and incomplete. I'm not sure who that was intended for. The guy closest to it was an offensive guard.
It wasn't for him. I thought there was a flag on the play, evidently not, but one of the guards was out there. I think it may have been an option screen where he had a choice of throwing it downfield or to the back.
Well, actually, it was a center, Eddie Grant, the closest to the ball, number 56. Eddie looked around and heard that sound go by his ear and said, "What's that?" I think Terry Donahue, conversing with one of the officials, arguing that very point. No flag, 2nd down, 10. Garrett and Cox are the wide people. Cox has only caught 1 ball today for 30 yards. Going to run it. Channing Williams, and he'll take it up to about the 25. Sunday night on ABC, your 3rd and 5 for the Sun Devils. They need something out of this possession because there's 6.5 minutes to play. Ford's pass is underneath to Williams, and he'll have the 1st down. By the whiskers of his chinny chin chin, too. I mean, a half a yard, and that's it. Texas is a factor in the Southwest. They're right there, along with Arkansas and A&M. Holy Cross rolling up the points this year. Boy, look at that. Darrell Henley has a piece of plastic wrap around him, and it finally blows loose. It's been a tough day in Tempe in weather. And Thursday night was a tough night north end of town out here. I mean, they were flooding, power lines down and trees all over the place. Mess. I'm frankly very surprised to be chilled in Tempe, Arizona.
That is a surprise, especially from the first time we were here in early September it was.
Yes, sir. Back goes Dan Ford on 1st down. Pumps it up, down the middle, incomplete, almost intercepted. Well, again, here's why that's a perfect example, I think, right there of the frustration of John Cooper with Dan Ford as a quarterback, and then back up the field.
Well, it was spoiled last year with Jeff Van Raphorst, and he's had some, Arizona State has had some fine quarterbacks here in the past, but it's particularly frustrating when you have an outstanding receiver like Aaron Cox, and you can't get him the football.
He's their big play man. Marcus Turner comes over to cover Cox at the bottom of the picture on 2nd down and 10. Ford's pass is away, and this one is caught. And he'll have another 1st down out of it. He got it to Tony Johnson, and Tony, laying flat on the ground, hauls it in. 5 minutes and 53 seconds to go in the game.
Ford looks left the entire way. That's something he shouldn't do. He didn't back up far enough either because Kalis, the guard, was setting shallow, and they bumped into each other. Still completed the pass. 6 of 12 now for Ford.
1st down up at the 42. Out of the shotgun. Pressure coming. He ducks away from it. Gets it away. He was almost past the line of scrimmage, but completes the pass for about a 6-7 yard pickup. He got away from Marcus Turner. Just eluded him. Tight end, Knutson makes the catch.
Excuse me, Keith. I was just going to say 4 years ago, there were two outstanding quarterbacks in the state of Oklahoma. One was Daniel Ford. The other was Troy Aikman. They're both here on the field today after having traveled to other schools before they got to the schools they're with today.
From midfield, second down, 2 yards. Ford's pass down the middle, caught by Darrell Harris out of the backfield. First down at the near the UCLA 40. Well, actually, there's a bit of a tie between Troy Aikman and Southern California because he was born and grew up, in part at least, in West Covina, California before the family moved to Henrietta, Oklahoma. But he still drives the truck. He rides around in the Blazer and puts a little pinch in the gum and cheek every once in a while.
He's more Oklahoman than he is LA, right?
Yeah, he's a nice dumb. Back goes Dan Ford. Pressure coming from behind. Parnell Lake, with that great speed, the outside linebacker, is able to run him down.
Ford can't take this long. Here's Lake over here. He's got 11 sacks. He's just going to get in there and sack the quarterback. He had plenty of time to throw the football. Both Williams and McDaniel go out to fight him off. Again, Lake only 204 pounds, very quick.
It is second down. And about 14. And Canning Williams, the fullback, watches it sail over his head. And incomplete. So third down and long now. You can see the frustration now as Aaron Cox comes back to the huddle, kind of saying, give me a shot at it.
Well, I think the frustration on Cooper's face is what he said to us yesterday. He was concerned about his quarterback position and his defensive backs, and ultimately, that's where Aikman got him in the second half.
Well, that's Parnell Lake spoiling that play again. The pass intended for Darrell Harris, but Lake was looping and just simply outrunning the blocking of Arizona State. And it's a knuckleball, and it's incomplete.
Parnell Lake is an interesting story. We mentioned him a little earlier, running 4.37 in the 40-yard dash. He was a high school star at Culver City. He's a linebacker now. He also ran back kickoffs last year and was doing it this year until he had some injuries at outside linebacker. And Terry Donahue said, we can't take a chance on you getting hurt.
Fourth and long. Ford steps up, gets it away. Pass caught by Aaron Cox and a first down at the UCLA 26. So he finally gets it to Cox.
The inside man will clear it out. Cox is here. He's going to go down and break to the inside. There'll be a nice hole in there, and Ford gets him the ball. UCLA drops in the zone. Nice hole in there. Nice throw. Good timing.
Only 2 catches for 47 yards. For Johnson, double coverage. Well, the crowd gets on that call pretty good, but the contact came out of bounds.
Yeah, it was not couldn't catch the football. It was out of bounds, and it was a good call on the field. Good call up here in the booth, Keith. The problem was here, Ford threw the ball too late. He'd already beaten Henley, number 2, about 10 yards up the field, but the ball wasn't thrown at the right time, and it was a good call, the right time of the field, but the ball was thrown too late.
Definitely time the ally of UCLA now at 3:21 to play in the game. Arizona State 2 timeouts. Ford's pass is incomplete. Henley defending, James Washington defending on the play. James with the interception early in the quarter against Cox.
The problem with Ford is he's looking left when he throws left the entire way. That gives experienced defensive backs like Washington, who watch the quarterback's eyes, an indication of where he's going to throw it, and they get over there and make the play on it.
Oh, it is third down and 10. Parnell Lake's after him. It's into the end zone and incomplete. Intended for Aaron Cox. Darrell Henley defending this time against Cox.
That was nice coverage in the secondary. We'll take a look at the secondary. Henley, number 2. Their best coverage man-to-man man is on Cox. Now watch him shadow him. This is why he couldn't find a man open. He finally just tries to throw it deep in the end zone. Henley sees Cox look back for it and tries to make the interception, but can't make the play.
There is no substitute for foot speed in this game anymore, is it?
And that's what UCLA defensively likes to do, just recruit speed.
4th down. Here's a wide open man. Channing Williams, the fullback, was absolutely wide open. He could have walked in the end zone, and Ford doesn't get him the ball. Holy mackerel.
This will kill you. Here's Williams right here. These men are supposed to cover him. They both blitz. He's going to go out and be wide open. He runs by the man supposed to cover him. Look at him right here. Stop it. Stop it right here. Nobody's around him. Wide open. That'll kill you. Take some time. Make sure you get the ball there. Behind him.
There's wind up there.
Yeah.
You can't throw a floater like that.
Well,
you can't throw a balloon.
When there's wind, Keith, you have to set your feet. That time he had time to set his feet, get a nice tight spiral on the ball, and he didn't do it. An inexperienced mistake by Ford.
All right, the Bruins now give it to Brown as they take over the football at their own 26, and we're inside 3 minutes to play. I thought for a moment we were going to have an exciting closing moment or two there, but I think the final 2 minutes and 50 seconds could very well expire here without much of a thrill left in it, as UCLA sits on a 9-point lead, 24-15. And the Bruins now can look down the road. 2 big bullies in front of them, Washington and USC. Aikman handing the ball off, and this is Brian Brown, and Brown is on his way to glory land. Touchdown, Bruins. That is a door slammer.
Take a look from the end zone. This is what you call the defense giving up. And they knew they had to score offensively. There wasn't the same intensity there as there was the entire ball game. Brown with an outstanding run. Nobody's going to catch him from behind.
You're going to hear his name a lot the next 2 years, and maybe a lot before this year's done.
That's for sure.
He's got 138 yards in the ball game today. Gaston Green has been out most of the game with a pinched nerve. Velasco for the extra point. It's up, and it's good. And you've got 2 minutes and 12 seconds to play in this ball game. The UCLA Bruins have a 16-point lead. They have pretty well put this one in hand as the ball rolls off the tee just as he approached it. And they'll come back and redo it. Troy Aikman named, obviously, the MVP for the UCLA Bruins. Stacy Harvey, linebacker for Arizona State, 7 tackles, but he was involved all day, probably as much as anybody. Typified what John Cooper wanted. Go flying around and give everything you had, and he did it. And here's the kickoff. Arizona State's Vic Cahoon returning the kickoff up to the 30-yard line. And so it'll be first down at that point for the Sun Devils. 2:05 to play in this game. And we welcome those of you who watched, was it Michigan State 13-7 over Ohio State. So the Spartans, after being tied last week by Illinois, come back to win a very, very big ball game today.
That sets up the Michigan State-Indiana game.
Yes, it does. Indiana losing today to Iowa. From the 30, Arizona State trailing 31-15. Dan Ford in at quarterback in relief of John Walker, who started. Throws underneath to Darrell Harris, who falls out of bounds, stopping the clock. But 16 points in a minute and 50 seconds against this UCLA defense seems an almost impossibility. Gaston Green hurt in the third possession for UCLA in the first quarter, has not been seen since. He suffered a pinched nerve in the neck, and Brian Brown replaced him And on 19 carries, Brown produced 138 yards, just turned in a few minutes ago a 70-yard, 4-yard streak for a touchdown. Troy Aikman has had a superb day, 22 of 31 for 328 yards, 2 touchdowns, and his second interception of the season. And Arizona State has drawn a penalty flag here at 1:39 to play.
And it's really been 2 games, Keith. The first half was all Arizona State, leading 9-0 at halftime. The second half, all UCLA, as they've scored 31 points to only 6 for Arizona State.
The Bruins' next ball game will be on the road, and it could be a trap. Don't ever doubt it. I remember one time a great USC team with O.J. Simpson went up to Corvallis, Oregon, got beat 3-0. That's where they go next, November 7th. Then they play Washington and USC in Los Angeles. Bruins, the only unbeaten team in the Pac-10. That pass thrown underneath with the Knudsen, the tight end. But the outcome of this ball game is academic because UCLA leads it 31-15, and we're at 1:20 to play. There's your schedule I just gave you. You know they can pump up for Washington and USC, but you got to be careful about Oregon State.
Well, Terry Donahue's concern about this game was if they didn't beat Arizona State, he didn't think anybody else could, because the other 3 teams that they have on their schedule, 2 of them were at home, and the only away game was at Cal, and he thought that if they were going to beat, anybody was going to beat Arizona State, they had to do it.
Well, Cal has grown troublesome now. They gave the Bruins a pretty good ball game last week.
Personal foul, defense, automatic first down.
There's a personal foul against UCLA. At this point in the game, it seems a rather silly thing to do when you've got it in hand and give the other team 15 yards, but it won't matter in the ultimate. California was beating up on Oregon today, too, at halftime. Dan Ford hanging in, gets it off down the middle. He's got Aaron Cox. Cox is inside the 5 and down at the 3. So the big play man for Arizona State makes only his 3rd reception of the day. 2 of them big plays, totals 98 yards in the game, but they have not been able to get him the ball. And the fellas in the white shirts in the second half have won the battle in the trenches. They didn't get much pressure on Aikman all day long. That pass into the corner of the end zone for a touchdown to Tony Johnson. Well, when you see the line score on the paper, it'll look like a relatively close ball game, but
and it was close for a while, but at the end here, it's been a blowout, but it's going to appear closer at the end than it was. But
pretty good catch here by Johnson.
It certainly was. Beverly, the backup corner, and the son of Randy Beverly, who once played defensive back for the Jets. And Donahue's done a nice job with his team. He's gone to 5 straight bowl games and won them.
Produced 41 players for the NFL, too. 2-point conversion try is good. Penalty flag is on the field as Kirk Windor goes into the corner to make the catch. Somebody asked me last night how well I knew Coach Donahue. I said I've known him since he was in junior college.
2-point conversion is good. Offside. Defense will be penalized on a kickoff.
He was the defensive tackle on that 1965 UCLA team that beat Michigan State in the Rose Bowl 14-12.
And they were an outstanding team. I played against them for 3 years, and I know they were a very good ball club.
55 seconds to go in the game, and this ABC Sports exclusive has been
game with 55 seconds. I'm sure we're going to see an onside kick, and if they do get it, and if they do score, they can always go for 2 and tie. So UCLA has 9 players up within 10 yards of where they can line up, expecting an onside kick.
Arizona State with 2 timeouts remaining. Now they go to a swinging gate sort of onside kick arrangement where everybody's over 9 players over there, 2 over here, including the kicker. He's going to kick the ball toward the crowd. And he's got to kick it 9 yards. So there are 9 Sun Devils going after that ball. Bruins have put receivers, defensive backs up on the front. but it's covered by a white shirt. And the UCLA Bruins have the ball around their own 46-yard line. Could have kicked it a little harder, maybe, and put a little more velocity on it. Might have gotten his ricochet.
Well, he did get it hopping a little bit. When you a little bit harder would have been ideal, but he did get it hopping. He kept it on the ground. The worst thing you can do is get it in the air where a man can catch it easily.
So now the Bruins with 55 seconds to go. Arizona State with 2 timeouts remaining. They simply have to run out the clock here and remain the only undefeated team in the Pac-10. They only loss on their schedule to Nebraska at Lincoln in a bit of a wild ball game, and a game actually in which UCLA sort of self-destructed.
Well, Nebraska has beaten both of these teams, and UCLA is playing a lot better now than they were back when they played Nebraska early in the season.
Marco Craig had a big day. Flipper Anderson had a big day. Troy Aikman had a huge day, and for that matter, so did Ryan Brown. There's the snap. Arizona State will spend the timeout.
That was always my favorite play.
Put your knee on the ground, huh?
Take the snap and put your knee on the ground. That meant that you usually had the game in the bag.
Well, Bob Gracie, now you've looked about the country this year and seen a lot of quarterbacks. Where do you put Mr. Aikman in the group?
Well, I put him right at the top. You know, that's right where he is with all the passing efficiencies and everything else. I've seen some of the ones in the Pac-10. I've seen the ones in the Big Ten, and I'd put Aikman ahead of anyone that I've seen in those 2 categories. Of course, the quarterback at Nebraska, Taylor, is a different style. He's more of an option quarterback, but as far as a pure passer, Aikman is the most impressive. He reads very well. How many times a day do we see him look to the left, look to the left, look there, and then come back to the right and find a receiver over there? He reads coverages very well. The offensive coordinator, AIKMAN, told me last night that he's very intelligent. He understands coverages and likes to read from one side to the other.
Of course, Terry Donahue wants him to become a little more assertive. He wants him to take the team literally and shake it.
Well, he wants him to be in more control at the line of scrimmage, and Aikman himself says it's kind of tough coming in from another school and trying to be a leader and trying to be the dominant person in that offense until you gain their respect on the field. I think he's doing that with every game that he plays.
And he certainly did it today, didn't he? When the big man, Green, goes down with a neck injury, and he stepped right to the fore and won the ball game for him. It's 31-23, but it's just a matter of running off, killing the clock with the last timeout and running off the rest of it for UCLA. Terry Donahue in his 12th season, winningest coach ever for the Bruins in Westwood. He's built quite a legacy there.
Well, and he does it. He has a redshirt program where almost every freshman that comes in doesn't play the first year. So when someone does go down, he has some veteran players there to back him up. The other thing about Donahue that you have to admire is that he turned down a multi-million-dollar contract last year, an opportunity to go to the NFL and coach the Atlanta Falcons. He wanted to stay at UCLA and respected that program so much, and certainly sure that everybody around Westwood is glad he stayed.
My old friend, the late J.D. Morgan, who was the athletic director who built the foundation for that athletic program at UCLA, was the one who stepped forward and had the courage to go ahead and hire Terry at age 31 when Dick Vermeil resigned to go off to professional football. And he was 32 years of age when he coached his first game for the Bruins. Now they'll run the clock off with 40 seconds in going. Now Arizona State University is now out of timeout. Dan Devine, who coached here at Arizona State, he really rolled up some numbers before he went on to Missouri and eventually to Green Bay and Notre Dame, and now he is back living here in Tempe. But these Sun Devils will be hurt.
No question about that. They've got a nice ball club. They just need to straighten out some injury problems that they've got in the secondary and straighten out their quarterback situation. And I'm sure that John Cooper and his staff will do that.
Well, they run the clock down as far as they can. That'll get a flag. That's delay of game. And it is 5 seconds remaining on the game clock as they walk off the 5-yard penalty. And most of the crowd now that braved the stormy weather made their way toward their automobiles and successfully will clog all the streets. And I think every major thoroughfare in Phoenix, Scottsdale, and Tempe has some kind of construction on it. I mean, getting across in this city is a difficult chore. All right, they're going to go ahead apparently and punt on 4th down, so they were not able to run off all the time. The kick is away as the Sun Devils go for it. Nobody is back. The ball is rolling around. The game is over. Todd Berry, our spotter. Dave Burnson, our statistician. And this one's history as the UCLA Bruins come into Tempe and beat the Arizona State Sun Devils by a score of 31-23. It is a big win for the Bruins, and here's the coach, Terry Donahue, with Mike Adams.
Terry, first of all, congratulations. I know how much this game meant to you.
Well, it's an important game for our team, Mike, and I'm really proud of the way our football team fought back in the second half. And Arizona State's talented, and they had a great crowd support today, and I'm very proud of our team. I'm sure they're proud of theirs. It was a real dogfight.
Once again, it was another display of how much Troy Aikman has developed and matured as a quarterback.
Well, Barry Switzer is responsible for having Troy Aikman come to UCLA, and I'm appreciative of that. And Troy has done a great job for UCLA, and he's really maturing all the time, and he's going to be a real fine player.
Coach, were you all concerned? You lost Gaston Green early. You were down 9-0. What were you feeling then?
Are you kidding me? Was I concerned? I about had heart palpitations, but we just tried at halftime to encourage our players. We wanted to keep them into the game and make them to believe that they could win because, you know, you have games like that. Everything went wrong in the first half, but an awful lot of things went right in the second half. So it was a great victory, Mike. I'm very excited.
Okay, Coach. Congratulations. Keith?
Thank you, Mike. Stay tuned for the College Football Scoreboard Show with Al Trotwig and Jim Hill next. The final score today, UCLA 31, Arizona State 23.